Yay!
Hey, hello.
Hello, everyone. Hang on a minute. Way.
There we go.
Hey, we've got him back.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, Alan.
Excellent.
Where did you go, Alan?
I rebooted the computer because when I unplug the microphone, plug it in again, it won't work. You have to reboot the computer.
I
could hear
it as well, mate.
telling everyone to ring me and do things, but I could hear what was going on.
Oh, right. I'm glad you're back with us anyway. Back with the sounds. Well, what a wonderful evening it is outside.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's not raining.
Absolutely.
It's raining here. Thank you. Excuse me. It's raining here, or has been.
Yeah,
It's getting wet here as well, Alan. It's getting wet here as well, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers, everybody.
Anyway, can we just say
everybody?
Hi to everybody that's watching us, and thanks for coming and joining us in the pub. Great guest for you later on, about 20 minutes time. But first, we've got a very difficult question to ask one of us, and that is addressed to Steve. And I'd like to know from Steve tonight, what made him think that he wanted to find out if fish have got irregular heartbeats?
Oh, you put me on the spot now, mate. Yeah, let me explain. Part of the COVID illness that I had, I was having palpitations or irregular heartbeats. So last Tuesday, I had an appointment at the hospital, and they gave me this little square heart monitor that if I had a palpitation, I just pressed the button, stuck it on my chest for a minute, and it would record the heartbeat. Well, I've had this thing all week, tucked on my belt, no problems at all. And today, I started washing the boat down. I got all the way down to the back of the boat, stepped off the boat, and I heard it push, sploosh. It was the heart monitor. So there's a rather large bass down there getting his heart monitored at the moment.
You should have had that. You should have had that heart monitor thing about 5 minutes ago on our host there, because he was having a few palpitations when Alan disappeared.
But the best of it is, I've had it all week and not had a single palpitation. It's in the drink, and what did I have this afternoon?
Oh no!
So I'm sure it's psychological. It's got to be.
It's got to be something, anyway. Alan, how are you after your trip back? Hello. Alan, you had a trip back down to Yelvertoft after you came up to see us all at the Shady Oak. Was your trip back good?
It was wonderful. Are we going to say something about that wonderful meeting we all had a couple of weeks ago?
Do it, Alan. You go
Me do it. Okay. Well, for those of you that didn't know, Ian had a birthday very recently.
I didn't mean that bit. I mean the bit that you came up.
Anyway, Ian had a birthday recently, so I came up. It was the first time the four of us had ever got together. I had obviously had contact with Ian previously. Before he bought his boat, we'd been in touch with each other. And it was the first opportunity with lockdown and the way everything has been for me to get up and see the lads. We had an absolute cracking day. It was fantastic. We got on so well with each other, as we thought we would, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had very good feelings. It was wonderful. It was. We must.
I had one regret though, Alan. I had one regret. I never did stroke that beard, did I, mate?
Well, there's still time for that, but I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah.
It's reserved for the ladies, you know. The ladies, they're allowed to touch it. No one else.
I'll let you off with it, mate. I'll leave you with that one.
Yeah. But no, we had a great meet, and fortunately at the Shady Oak, the pub where we met, I've gone in the darkness again, they had a little campsite. So I was able to stay overnight in the camper van, and all was good. It was great. Yeah, really
good night. It was and the morning, because Ian and Chris cooked us a lovely big boaty breakfast, so we all had a nice breakfast, and then Steve and I did the washing up.
Yeah,
we
sat out on the towpath with a full English breakfast,
in
toast.
the sunshine.
It was really fab. Yeah.
Really nice. It
So
was good.
thanks
Really
to Ian and Chris for that. They put a lot of effort into that.
Well, thanks for you for coming up. It was great to have us all together again.
Yeah.
I don't think I laughed so much for a long time, to be honest.
And we got the t-shirt. We did it. We did it and got the t-shirt.
T-shirts as well. Look.
Yeah, we got the t-shirt. Alan, what does this remind you of?
Yeah.
Me.
That will be coming out of my vlog on Sunday.
And we might spoil it for everyone then.
Uploaded.
Did it record, Alan?
Yeah, yeah. It's all,
I just recommend everybody watch Alan's vlog because that's a bit of a private joke. But just watch Alan's vlog on Sunday, and we're all clubbing together and getting Alan some new lights.
New lights, yeah.
I don't know why this is happening because sometimes I have the light on all night and it never goes off. But there you go. I was saying that Ian and I have something in common in that we're virtually the same age, which we hadn't realised until we met each other.
That's right.
He's older than me though, so he's more wiser and more knowledgeable. He's only older by about 3 weeks though, funny enough. So
4 weeks, 4 weeks between us, yeah. Oh dear.
Sorry.
What's that? Don't know what happened.
We should say hello to a few people, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Right.
Yes,
Hello,
we
Carol.
can.
Hello, Susan. Hello, Mary Jane. Hello, Alan. Hello, Carol. Oh.
Right.
Sasha, hello, Ed.
Alan.
Yep. Sorry.
We're asking for t-shirts. In the description of the live stream now, you will see links to each of our Teespring shops. If you go into there, you'll be able to buy the mugs and these t-shirts.
Yeah.
If you so wish, that is.
Notice the two best ones are at the top, Gary. Look, can I just say something about merchandise, because a lot of people have asked me if I've got any merchandise, and I never had. I had trouble with the Teespring site trying to sort something out. Ian has very kindly taken charge and he's got me up and running, and I'll be saying more about that on Sunday in Sunday's vlog, giving the link and all that sort of thing. Although Ian's saying he's put the link somewhere already. Have you, Ian?
Yeah, the link is actually in the description below. I couldn't leave you out, Alan.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Excellent. Yeah. But I do make an announcement on Sunday about that, so look out for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben, for ordering the t-shirt, mate. Appreciate that. Ben Slater's got his on order and he can't wait to receive it. So thank you, Ben. Yeah,
and how about you, Gary? Have you had an exciting week? And we're off cruising, aren't we? Are you enjoying being on the cut?
I love it. It's like a different world. I finally feel like I can breathe again. It's the unknown, really, of not knowing and not worrying about where you've got to be. I mean, Ian and I are going on a very small adventure over the next couple of weeks, but there's no rush. We don't have to worry because we don't have to be back. The only thing that we have to be worried about really is the weather, strong winds, and Ian and I are of the same thinking. If it's raining, the boat don't move. We're not really I'm a fair weather boater, and I think Ian's along with me on that one. No fun stood on the back of a narrowboat when it's raining.
No.
Just stay in, light the fire, and find a good old war film, a western or something. Stay in the dry, definitely. But it'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it, aren't you, Ian?
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. But the problem, one of the reasons I only cruise in the sunshine is that one of us sends me a comment and say, "You always seem to cruise in lovely sunny weather," and I can't let them down, can I?
Alan. Yeah. Actually, we're fairly
always have blue skies in them, so he is definitely a fair weather boater. There's no doubt about it.
It's quite weird, actually.
Grey skies.
It's quite.
Wasn't there a television program where you could do that and that and?
Yeah,
Celebrity Squares, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah.
It's actually quite strange because Ian and Gary have left the marina to go out on the cut, and of course Chris and I have always been out on the cut, and because of my illness, we're now in the marina. So I know exactly how those two guys felt when they were there, and to be honest with you, we can't wait to get out again.
Ironically, Steve, if I was to open that window blind there, I can see Ian, and if I was to look out of my front door, I can see
You
you
can see me.
because we are actually back in the marina for tonight. So,
Indeed, yeah.
well, we've been here too. This is our second night, actually.
It is, yeah. It is indeed.
Yeah.
And I'm actually out on the cut at the moment. So I came out yesterday for a few days just to chill out.
Yeah.
And yesterday was a lovely day. Today it's been very dreary, overcast. We've had some rain. It's trying to rain at the moment, actually. And I'll move on a little way tomorrow. So I've stayed put today. And tomorrow I'll just go a little bit further and turn the boat. So I'm having a great time. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It makes
Can I
such a
just
difference to be out.
Can I just bring something in, Alan? You might know more than, or anybody, any of the other guys might know. Crick Boat Show. It got cancelled, didn't it, early this year?
Yeah, it's on again now, though, isn't it?
It
It's
is,
back on
yeah.
later in the
It's
year.
on the weekend before the bank holiday weekend. I think it's the 20th to 22nd
Of
August.
20th
August.
of August.
Are we
Christmas before
are we
me.
looking at going? Because I know Steve and I were thinking about, because there's a dog-friendly hotel near. We were looking at somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughter would always have the dogs anyway, but
Gary, you don't have to stay in kennels, Gary. You're okay. You can go into a hotel.
is there a zoo nearby for Ian? You know, if there's any lonely silverbacks, I'm sure we can accommodate. We'll have to have a look at that, guys, and see.
Yeah, I mean,
we will, because
I can tell you now, I have another commitment on the Sunday, so we'll be around on the Friday and Saturday.
if we do it, it'll be a
If
Saturday.
you want to think
so-
about that, but
yeah.
Sunday I have to go away, so yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Well, if you're going down, Steve, I'll catch your lift.
of course you can, mate. You both can.
Thank you.
You know.
I was going to say,
Well-
what about me?
Oh, you're not coming.
Oh, I
you're
got
right.
behind going, wait for me, wait for me.
When they fix the breach, you might be there for August.
Yeah,
I'm not going that way. I tell you what, the sooner they can fit this breach and I can leave you behind, the better.
Oh,
Who's going to cook your dinner, Ian?
you know.
Who's going
Yeah.
to make your dinner?
No, seriously, guys, we'll have to have a get together and sort of plan this, because
Yeah.
we only need to stay one night, and then we can do
Yeah.
I don't know, Saturday and Sunday. But I don't know if Chris and I can do the Friday because of whether Chris is working. Oh no, it's August, isn't it?
Yeah,
And Chris will
sure,
be
you're working.
retired.
tired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
someone was
absolutely.
just asking about Country House Gent. Has he already been on? He hasn't been on yet.
Been
He'll be
on,
coming
no.
on very shortly. So just,
He'll
yeah.
be in the green room very shortly, I would imagine. We'll put a message up as soon as he comes into the studio. All right.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for him to turn up. That's all.
Yeah.
So he will be with us very, very shortly now.
Well, Aslan's very slow. Aslan isn't a fast boat, so a bit
You
like
know what?
Father Christmas. He'll be here.
We should have recorded the Aslan sound, shouldn't we? Really? So we've got
Yeah,
to put it
very
on.
definitely, because it's a beautiful sound, that engine.
Absolutely.
Petter
gorgeous,
McLaren, I think. Yeah.
Hi, Stuart. I note your message. Thanks for that. I'll be in touch.
So, right. Well, tomorrow is Wednesday, and we've then got, I think it's 4 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks today that is our next Narrowboat Live. So anybody that's thinking of when we're going to be on next, we're not telling you who's going to be on, but it's the 25th, I believe, of May. Tuesday, the 25th of May. Another great lineup for that night. We'll announce it on Sunday, so check our social media on Sunday,
Yeah.
folks. And
I'm really looking forward to that one, I must admit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Oh, look. Oh, our guest is in the green room. Yay!
Hey.
He's arrived. I suppose he's got to have a little bit of powdering on his nose and everything like.
You'll need a bit of powder somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, right, I think, is he ready? I think he's as good as ready.
Steve is just being asked where Chris is.
Chris is sitting down in the saloon at the moment, but we'll bring her on later after Kevin's joined us, I think.
Okay, Johnny, good.
Are you going to join us? Yeah, she'll come and join us in a little while.
Right, okay. Right then. So, tonight's guest. Now, when I was in hospital, recovering from my first episode in hospital, I got bored and watched YouTube. And the very first thing that I found on YouTube was a guy in a little van saying, "These are all my bits all around me. This is everything I own. And I'm thinking of buying a boat." And I was hooked from that moment on. I was hooked on this guy. And I followed his journey right the way through. And to have him as a guest on Go Narrowboating tonight is just, it's a dream come true for me. Absolute dream. Now, he doesn't really need any introductions other than Yorkshire tea. And are we ready, guys?
Ready?
Yep. Pork pies.
Pork pies. Here's the pork pies. Can we eat them?
Can I eat them now?
Kevin.
Oh,
Good.
Yay, Kevin!
Marvelous.
Hang on. There we
I
go.
have to stay in. It's such a touching introduction. It really got me there.
I told him to say that, Kev.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
It's nice to have you on
hello,
board,
good
Kev,
evening.
anyway. Good evening.
Kevin,
I'll
good
take these off.
evening. How are you?
I'm very good. Yes. Looking forward to getting going again. I'll take that off.
Yeah, I'm going to join
It's,
you, actually, Kevin.
Yeah. It's so hot in here because we've had all this lovely weather, and then for about the past 10 days, I haven't bothered lighting the fire, and then today, it's just gone all overcast, and it rained and got so cold. I thought, right, I'll light the fire, and now it's stopped raining and it's brightened up again. And I've got I'm wearing shorts, and so anyone says, does it get cold on a narrowboat? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
no,
So, Kevin, is this your first ever live? I like it.
it is. Yeah, I was just gonna say they are Gary.
Yes, thank you very much. That's a
Gary
very
Phillips.
good drawing on that mug, Kev.
Very
It is.
good.
It's Gary, courtesy of Gary Phillips. Superb artwork. Yeah,
Excellent. What's that? Lock up your pork pies.
lock up your pork pies. Here comes the country after. Yeah,
That was actually quite a coincidence because Kevin mentioned it to me. I met him just outside Chester, and he said, "I'd love a caricature done." And it just so happened that I had an idea for one. So I started drawing that cartoon before he even mentioned it. And then I spoke to Kevin I think it was on the phone, wasn't it, Kevin? And you said, "I'd love one where it's a large head, and I'd like to be on the back of Aslan to one side." And I thought, that's what I've actually drawn. That's what I've got here.
that's incredible. Yeah, those out of proportion head, tiny little body.
Yeah.
And the boat as well. It's you've got the motion of the boat chugging along. Yeah, it's superb.
So it worked perfectly. And then I presented you that in Nantwich by the Aqueduct.
Yeah, pose for some photos. I remember that day very well.
Kevin, we're getting some questions coming in, and I've got to ask you. The one is, how on earth did you cope with the Ribble link?
Well, I have to admit that I couldn't have done it without the help of my ex-wife at the time. Well, say ex-wife at the time. Well, I just call her my wife now. It's just and she's still my very good friend. I couldn't have done it without her. I'd have wobbled myself into a heap. With nerves. But, it was it doesn't look so bad on the video especially when that boat flew by, and but the boat went by, and I mean the boat at one point was like that, and I thought this is it. I thought we're going over, and I mean you can imagine how deep the Ribble link is. But, sort of caught
it. Looked terrifying.
Yeah, but well,
It certainly did.
when I started filming it, when I because I was too busy trying to, I thought, well, if we go in here, I need to just jump, but by the time I recovered, it didn't look so bad. So it was
Scary.
Whether I'd do it again, I don't know. I suppose I'd have to if I'm going back over the over the thing. There's no other way.
You could
really,
get
apart from the back
Aslan
of a
put on
lorry.
a truck. You could get it put on a truck, couldn't you? I suppose.
Yeah, it cost a bit, but it would certainly save.
I mean, without giving your exact location away, Kevin, are you still on the Lancaster Canal?
I am. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been able to go anywhere else because of all the various lockdowns and so on. And it's only recently that the Lancaster's now reopened. I thought it was going to be today, but it opened early. It was it was on Tuesday, which was the day I did a video saying that it would be opening today, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's now actually open. So I can now make my way up there. I was going to do the this live stream on the canal, but I went up there just on my motorbike and checked the signal, and it was terrible. And I thought, last thing I want is the live stream going down because of that. Yeah.
Can I just quickly say something? Someone has said they want to thank me for making them spend £50,000 on a narrowboat after watching his videos. Life savings gone, but the best thing I ever did.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Excellent.
No responsibility then. If it all goes wrong.
So have you got a pork pie then, Kevin?
I haven't. Well, you know,
you've eaten them all.
I'm 53 now, and you start to expand, sort of around the belly area. And so I've been on a low pork pie diet, which is mainly stir fries and things like that.
You can have half mine if you want it.
Yeah. Well, I did have one a few days ago, and yes, it was nice.
You
it's
can
like
get good.
Discovering an old friend.
I happen to know where you are, and there's a very good bakery in that town. So I don't know whether it's still there, but I can't remember the name of it. But it was. I used to deliver there.
Hamlet.
There was 2 places I used to deliver to. It's fun in a little alley. It was
down the
fantastic.
side street. It's
Kevin, you're being asked. Yeah. Kevin, you're being asked how long you've been into motorcycles.
Oh my word! Go well. There's a live stream on its own. I had my first bike when I was 14, and it was a motocross bike. KTM 125, 1981. If anyone wants to know, one of the very first water cooled ones, but it was a mixture of air cooled and water cooled, and the radiator was under the tank. Yeah, but that 14. And then I got a moped, and I've had a bike pretty much, consistently since then, apart from the 3 years or so that I was cruising around the network. And I did miss the bikes then, and I thought, well, one day, who knows, I'll get another one. So yeah.
So you had 3, didn't you, at one point?
What, sorry?
Didn't you have 3 at one point?
Oh yeah. Well, I had the Kawasaki, the BMW, and the Harley. But the Kawasaki's gone now. The buyer finally collected it. Yeah, it's sort of
a nice looking bike.
Kevin, can I just take you back to when you were in your little van there? What was the trigger point to buy Aslam against anything else that was around at the time?
It was it was a case of which way could I live with minimal outgoings. I looked at vans. Buying another house, or a flat or whatever was out of the question. I didn't want to rent because your money just goes and you never own it. I looked at camper vans and thought, well, you've got quite a lot of ongoing costs. You have to park somewhere. You do get moved on a lot. And I would basically be living in laybys and things like that.
Yeah.
Kevin, what I meant was, why did you? Sorry, no, it's a valid answer what you've given. But when you bought Aslam, what drew you to Aslam against from a different narrowboat? Sorry if I didn't explain.
Yeah. Completely, yeah. Well, there was. I was looking for a boat with a traditional engine because there's a YouTube channel. He's still going at the moment. Mike Caskin, and he owns a vintage, sort of a working canal boat, sheeted, sort of coal delivery boat, and that has a Lister JP2 in it, I think it is.
Lovely engine.
And he did a video showing starting it, and it was ticking over, and then he pulled off and he pulled away on it, and it just had this sound, and I thought, well, yeah, I would love. Because I love engines and anything mechanical. So That's what I was looking for. So I put it all down to My Caskin. It's a channel called My Caskin.
It's a brilliant channel.
Yeah, he does loads of, because he actually uses it as a working boat, and he goes up the Grand Union, and he goes through.
And
Manchester.
he can handle that boat as well. I once saw him turn it around in some canoe rapids of some description. There was a weir going off a canal. Do you remember that? And he just turned it around effortless.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen ones where he's done really tight bends when it's frozen solid, and he's got someone on the towpath pulling the boat along with a rope, and he's doing this backwards and forwards thing, cutting through the ice. Yeah. So and
he's done very talented.
He's done some beautiful ones going along the Oxford in the winter, with the snow and everything covered in snow. And I saw that and I thought, it was the sound. It was very, very cold. It was like, foggy in the air, and he was just going slowly around these canals, and the sound. And I thought,
mind you, you've had some fun with Aslan, haven't you, in the past with breakdowns and having to order parts and everything? Yeah. Because the Petter McLaren's quite a rare engine, isn't it? I think you're the only one.
Yeah. You can't. You can't really buy spare replacement parts. You just have to, whatever's broken or packed up, you have to get it repaired. That's what happened with the with the injector pump.
That's it.
Yeah, I had to send. I mean, it was literally 10 days, I think it was, after I bought the boat, and it packed up. I mean, I've been asked. I have been asked a lot. Why didn't I get both pumps, the injector pumps, done at the same time? And that was basically because if I took this pump off, or if I took them both off, and I couldn't get either of them repaired, and then I put them back on, and for some reason it wouldn't work, I'd be stuck. I mean, it would all be over, or I'd have to buy a new engine or something. But at least with one working pump, the engine was running on one cylinder, and I thought, well, at least I could get to a boat yard or some mooring somewhere while it was sorted. But it had a water pump packed up on the Llangollen in the middle of nowhere. I had to.
You've had your share of fun. You've had your fun, but she does sound beautiful. She really does.
It is, yeah. Probably smokes a bit. I'd like to get some expert in to fine tune the diesel pumps, because I've had the injectors reconditioned, and that sort of helped a little bit. But I think the injector pumps need a bit of fine tuning just to cut the smoke down a bit. But she doesn't burn oil. It's just the sort of unburnt diesel. So she's probably a bit rich.
Right. You see, all that was Arabic to me, I'm afraid. I've got no idea.
Yeah. Well,
she's
currently using more fuel than she should. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Just as a just a quick aside.
Sorry, just saying, Kevin, Gary will be all right once he gets used to his glasses and he can see again.
I'm never going to get used to these glasses.
Are they like thick lenses, or
Kevin,
are they just?
No.
I can't remember his name now.
Bits?
Yeah, I've got a prism on one of the lenses, and I don't know what's his name of Star Trek that had the data, not data. What was
Geordie
he called?
Geordie
LaForge. I don't know whether the camera, because I haven't got my glasses on to see, is that picking up the prism?
It's picking up the fact that you can't see anything through it whatsoever.
There you go.
It's magnifying.
It's about what, 50 times, I'd say. 50.
Well, no, it's got little lines in there, Kevin, and that's what because I've got.
Yeah, I can see the lines. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's because I've got double vision. When you put these on, it's supposed to bring the eyes into alignment. But when I put them on, I can't see a blooming thing. Rather than seeing 2, I see 4 now. So we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see.
What comes to us all in the end.
He loves going down the pub now.
Yeah, I've got 4 pints.
Instead of already got 4 in.
A cheap night.
Yeah. Until I start to drink them. I love that mug.
I was just going to say, I love this virtual pub. I love what you've done with the place.
Yeah,
you've been asked why Aslan has the hoop on the chimney. but a lot of boats have that hoop, don't they? On the classic
it's
engines.
a splitter.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's if you go through low tunnels or under low bridges, otherwise the exhaust pulses would knock all the render off and dust and weeds and whatever's growing on there. So this is supposed to break it and split it, but it also sends fumes, sort of like that. I get asked a lot if I breathe a lot of the fumes, and you stand to one side or the other, and most of the times it whichever way the wind's going. But if it comes towards you, you just step to one side.
I think the hoop has to be sort of parallel to the sides, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it has a certain way to have the hoop.
It's pointing straight ahead, and then the fumes go out like that. So no, I don't. I don't stand there. I just love the smell of diesel fumes in the morning.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. No.
Have you done the Leicester Ring, Kevin?
Leicester Ring. Which is the Leicester Ring?
Through Foxton
I'm
Lock.
asking for a friend.
Oh yeah,
I'm asking for a friend.
yeah. I've done. Yeah, when I went right round, and then I came down the Trent, and then I came down the River Soar, and then you get onto the Leicester branch of the Grand Union, and you come to the Foxton Locks. You go up there. They're very narrow. You wouldn't do it if you had a wide beam. And it's all volunteers, so you can just let them all do the work. And and then you go down the Leicester branch of the Grand Union, and you arrive back at Crick. It's
you've got to watch those volunteers. You've got to watch those
volunteers. Yeah, but on the River Soar, for example, because rivers are different to canals, are there many places where you can moor up?
Yeah, you have floating pontoons.
Yeah, I know there are some. Yeah,
quite a few pop up. Yeah, and there are when you get to towns or villages, especially where was it? Where was it? I met Robbie Cumming.
I don't. I've seen that. Yeah, I don't remember where it was.
Or was that on the Trent? I'm not quite sure, but it's similar on the non-tidal Trent. You can't moor up on the tidal Trent. You just basically got to go for it. You can't stop. But the non-tidal Trent and the Soar, there are these floaty pontoons that go up and down with the tide. Fantastic moorings. The stronger current. So you have to watch the current, especially if you pull up, step off, get the centre line, and you think, right, I'll just wait for it to stop and then tie up, because your boat will be back off down the river.
How did Aslan cope with that? All right.
Very good. Yeah. Now the cooling's sorted out. I mean, you think she's going to overheat, but no, she's just chugged along.
Do you have to run with the side doors open, Kev?
In the summer, in the winter, I tend to close it because it warms the cab up, the saloon, and so So if it's freezing cold outside and you've finished, end of a day of cruising, you get in and it's just lovely and warm, and it gives you a chance to light the fire. And
Oh, nice.
Kevin, I've got a question. Well, it's really a comment from my beloved father, who happens to love your cooking escapades. Now, what he's quite fascinated about is the fact that you use one knife, one spoon, and appear to only use one bowl. How on earth you cook what you cook with just that? Because it's amazing.
It's
a cookbook.
It's the cookbook. Yeah. It's necessity. I mean, when I the first night on the boat, when I was on the hard standing down at Yelvertoft near Crick, I didn't have anything. I had this silly little sort of butter knife, and I bought what did I buy? I bought a loaf of bread, and I had some. I can't remember if I had butter or not, but some cheese. That's it. Yeah, and I thought I'm going to make some. I'll just for the couple of days I'll live on cheese sandwiches or cheese and onion sandwiches. And then I thought, no, I fancy something a bit more like warm. So I did the cheese on toast, but it was a necessity. I mean, I actually have, what have I got now? Where are we? I have 2 plates and one bowl. Where is it? Come on, fingers not doing what it's supposed to do. One bowl there because I broke the other one. Yeah, it's all back to front. But, I mean, I've got a spatula there and a and a spoon thing, and there's a steamer. Oh yeah, steamer right over there.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Yeah, but at the time it was a bowl. I didn't even have plates, and so. But it's just stemmed from there. It was a lot easier and a lot less washing up because you have to conserve water. You can't just think, well, I'll just do washing up every time I cook something. So you collect up a day's load of washing up and plates and cups and things, and then do it all in one go. So you cook one pot, less washing up. Yeah,
I can remember the excitement you had when you bought that new knife. Do you remember? Was it you went into Tesco's? You bought the knife.
Yeah, I still have it now. Yeah, home bargains.
Home bargains.
Yeah, they come in two varieties, green or orange, and on offer £1.75, and it's still going strong. So yeah, I have my sharpener, and but cooking with a proper knife, it's chalk and cheese. It's so much easier.
Yeah, talking about cheese, you started off in Yelvertoft. Alan is moored in Yelvertoft, and you both seem to have cheese sandwiches for food.
I think top rolls. Yeah, it's to do with the area. It's it's a dairy kind of area, isn't it? And they love their cheese down there.
They do.
I think that's what it is.
Cheese, can't beat cheese. Yeah, lovely.
Cheese for breakfast.
Like Wallace and Gromit, isn't it?
Hey, what's that going?
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, it looks like Wednesday now.
Cracking cheese, Gromit.
Question for you, Kevin, on the screen.
Oh, which country house inspired your YouTube name? That was a house which my wife and I had together. And I came up with this idea of doing a YouTube channel with all the various things that come with running a place, in the Lake District. But I never did it. I ended up restoring a camper van and doing repairs to a Land Rover. I had loads of Land Rover discoveries, and they all need work all the time. So I thought, well, what describes, what it's all about? And so I thought, well, I have a house in the country, and I consider myself a bit of a gent. I had these silly green wellies and a waxed green, barber jacket, and flat cap and ironing master. So I thought, well, yeah, country house gent. So, but I wouldn't want. I don't want to say the name because my wife still owns it and still lives there. So I wouldn't want to. I don't want to give the name now. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a T25, wasn't it? You had, wasn't it, Kev?
Yeah. It's, funny enough, they call them cheese. It's a wedge. It's supposed to be like a wedge of cheese. So there's a distinct line of cheese going through everything here. I think. Yeah, that's my tip for the future. Invest in cheese.
What's that cheese with the holes in it? Because I know that van resembled that at one point.
yeah, it did. Yeah,
that's the one I like, Emmental.
In the back wheel.
Is that what it was?
That's the cheese after you've got your hands on it, Gary.
Pardon?
That's the cheese after you've got your hands on it.
It will be. I like cheese.
Scoop all the bits out.
Yeah. Do you know what, gents? Crispy. I am starving, and I'm looking at this pork pie here. I want to cut it up and get some mustard on it.
Well, get eating.
Well, I should. I might cut it up in a minute.
I've been eating mine. It's only a small one, a tiny little thing.
I'll tell you, Gary. I've had mine in the fridge all day, and when I had lunch this morning, the temptation was so strong. I really didn't have one.
Have you had rights?
Do you know what? I'm gonna cut mine. I'm gonna eat it. Excuse me.
Have you had rights pork pies?
Have I had Alan?
Kevin?
Yeah, rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what. I mean, I never set out to be associated with pork pies, but that's what set it all off. Because the day I went on a little maiden voyage up the Leicester branch, and then I came back and had to go away for a little bit. And then I came back and thought, right, this is it, starting proper. And I went through the Crick Tunnel, but I didn't have any food, so I just whipped to the local Crick post office, and they had these pork pies, and it said about hot water pastry and crispy and all that. And I thought, oh, that sounds nice. So I got that, and then waited down at the Watford locks for my turn to go through, and I had this pork pie. But I think I was so overwhelmed by it that I don't know. I became sort of an aficionado on pork pies for some reason. So then further along the canal, I think it was at Rugeley, I found the actual shop that makes them. So I bought two straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And absolutely
I always like pork pies. Yeah.
But
I didn't realise you got them from the post office, because I bought one from there recently.
yeah. Very it's a fantastic little shop, that.
Yeah.
Have they I suggested they got one of those new modern it's a combined photocopier, printer, fax machine. You can put and you can put in a USB stick and all that, and he's that's a good idea. But I'm just wondering if they ever bought one. No,
I haven't noticed it, let's put it that way. That's not to say they haven't got one.
It would have been a godsend for boaters, because if you need to download something, print it, whatever, it'd be ideal.
But they're on the right end for the boats.
It's quite surreal.
Yeah.
I've got country house Gent's permission to eat a pork pie with him.
What's your first impression? What's the overall? What are you getting from the pork pie?
It's very nice, but Chris got this. It's beautiful.
Is it one I've got to try? What make is it?
Sainsbury's own, I think.
Oh, right.
Not
Historic.
it's a
Asda's own. Sorry.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's very nice. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Mine is a Sainsbury's.
Try Aldi's.
Sorry about
Aldi's
eating it live, but it's very nice, Kevin. You should try one.
I've had Asda. I've never had Sainsbury's. I've had Asda, and I can highly recommend Aldi as well. They're very similar to the Asda ones. Nice crispy pastry.
Have you tried the butchers at Braunston? If you go over the bridge and up into the little village there's a butcher's there, and they've got the most amazing pies in there.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't.
I thought you were asking Alan, because I'm no.
Oh, you're talking to me? Sorry, I thought you were talking to Kevin. No, I've never been to the butchers, but several people have mentioned the butchers in Braunston, so it's obviously highly regarded.
I seem to remember we had I think it was steak pies, and it was really nice. They make them themselves, and the steak in them was absolutely superb. But it's worth a try, Alan, if you're up that way.
Okay, well, don't go over that way that often.
Well,
Ian, I wish you'd have kept me small.
Sorry.
Hang
on a minute. Let me sort
Gary.
There you are, folks.
That's better. Yeah, I'm trying to eat my tea. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Ian. Do you want anybody want a piece?
We're just going to sit here and watch you eating your pork pie. We're just going to stare at you.
It's really
nice.
Pie. The trouble is, I can't stop now.
Yeah. That's the quietest I've heard him all day.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? We know what the answer is now, Steve.
Yeah, feeding pork pies.
Stuart Humore's here in Yelvertoft says Braunston butchers are excellent.
Yeah.
Can you walk from Yelvertoft to Braunston? Because I never walked to Braunston, but thinking about it, it's sort of a straight line, that diagonal line from Crick or Yelvertoft down to Braunston.
Can't remember now. It's 6 years ago since we were last down that way. So,
Sasha has asked us a question, and I've got to scroll back, Sasha, to find your question, because they scroll up so quickly.
Can you ask it again, Sasha, and we'll try and put it up.
I'm just trying to see if I can find it. How big is I think she wants to know how long our boats are. I think that might be one of the questions.
Yeah. Well, go on, Gary.
How big is your well, it says how big is your feet, everyone, but or FT. I think she's asking about length of boats.
Yeah,
I'm between size 10 and size 11, depending on the weather.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Size 6 when
boat's
it's cold.
45 foot long.
How long, Alan? Sorry, say again.
45 feet, my boat.
45. Ian?
57 feet.
57, yeah. How long's Aslan, Kevin?
45 foot and 3 inches. That's important. You know,
Now, I'm not boasting, but I'm doing 67.
it all adds up.
Yeah,
you get a heftier CRT license fee.
you do, indeed. And more expensive mooring fees as well.
I was just going to say that because we're all in the virtual pub here and you're all having beer and wine, it dawned on me that you'd need a lift home. So I'm your nominated driver. So that's why I'm drinking tea and water.
So we're calling it
nominated
now,
driver for the evening.
We'll take you up on that,
Drop me
Kevin.
off first.
Yeah, I'll have to go a few miles. Yeah, I'll probably be around
Just
about
a little
midnight.
bit. You're a good couple of hours away from us, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
Have any of us come across a haunted canal?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were spirits everywhere, wasn't there, Ian?
We had a troll on the canal.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
On the live feed, yeah. I'll have a look, see if I've got the picture, and perhaps we can post it up for those that haven't seen it. Just bear with me. You carry on, and if I find it, I'll pull it up.
Well, there was a load of spirits, I believe, by the Shady last weekend, definitely.
Well,
They were
yeah.
all in bottles, so they were okay.
Oh, is that all right?
Do you find your boat dark, Kevin, inside?
No,
You're a
no.
porthole waller, aren't you?
Yeah. I like the portholes because it's very private and it lets just enough light in. I've never I mean when it gets to this time of night that it's starting to get the light starting to go, then let's put some lights on. But it's also it's a brilliant way of keeping the heat in because I have these little round cushions which I put in the porthole. Once you fill up, I mean there's 6 portholes here. Once you get all those cushions in, that you can just feel the temperature rise straight away because there's a small surface area. But with large square windows, you've got to have your thermal curtains and so on, unless you've got double glazing. So yeah, there's a privacy and a warmth aspect, and there's just a little trade-off of light. But I like it. I like it dim, nice and dim. I think I say.
You say it's private, isn't it?
Yeah, and private. Yeah.
Do you have much problem with people trying to peer into your windows when you're moored up, Kevin?
I did in it doesn't happen all the time, but I did in Chester when I went went up towards Chester, and that's where I ended my first. That's where I met your mate Kevin, Gary.
That's right. I was going to mention Kevin later on, but yeah, I was talking to him actually yesterday.
Right. Yeah. I was sat there. I popped into Chester. It was a Friday, and I thought I went to. I don't know if you've ever been to the Harker's Arms, and they do this. I thought, right, I'm going to go to the pub, and they do this fantastic plum porter, and it's a sort of, it was very nice, probably a bit too nice, but I thought, right, I'll get a curry, and I went back to the boat, and I'm just sat there, just down on the settee, just eating my curry and happy as Larry, and then these 2 women, one appears at the porthole, and she goes, "Here, look, there's somebody in there," and I'm like, yeah. I think, most people don't realise that these are homes. I think they think a lot of them are just like fixtures on the canal, like attractions, and but they don't realise a lot of these are people's private residence.
I get really annoyed when they do that because I get quite paranoid about it, because if you was to walk up to their garden path and look in their bedroom windows, they'd call the police and call you a perv, wouldn't they? You know what I mean? It's so annoying.
I had one who it was really hot summer's day, had the front doors open and the side hatch, and I'm just moored up, and suddenly feet, step on the front deck, and this woman saying hi. She says, I hope you don't mind, but my son, he's a little boy, he'd like to come and have a look in your boat. And he says, is that all right? I said, no. I said, the best will in the world, this is my home. And she, I said, I wouldn't, like you said, I said, I wouldn't turn up at your house and ask to have a look around. And she just goes, it's not the same.
It is the same.
It is
the same.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy, but off she went. But she wasn't happy. She was sort of walking off. Yeah.
And
Well,
a friend of mine.
I've actually found the picture of the Bates Mill spook. So if you bear with me a second, I'll share my. Oh God, I've got the shakes. How do
Just
I share
load it into a banner. Load it into a banner, mate.
Right, okay.
Not a banner, a brand. It's a brand. Go
Load
and
it into
load
a
it
brand.
under. Go load it under overlays.
While you're doing that, I'll just say Sasha has asked the name of my boat. My boat is called Lazy Days, DAZE. It's not sign written or anything, the name, but that's what it's called.
And there's the troll for everybody. Just there, look.
The troll of Bates Mill Bridge down by the Shady Oak on the Shropshire Union Canal. There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is a troll, as in not an internet troll, but by the river, little troll.
Was it called when we were kids? I hope I'm not offending anyone. Wasn't it called a gonk or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah. A troll.
You used to get him in a fair, didn't you, with loads of hair?
Yeah, that's it. A troll. Yeah. Traditionally in fairy tales lives under a bridge and asks for a toll to cross the bridge. I don't know. Yeah. And this one actually is near a bridge. But I'll spoil the story now because it's actually a tree. And it just looks like it.
Now, I think it was to do with the fact that we had moisture in the air, didn't we? And it was rising up over the camera.
Yeah. And the bit underneath the face is actually the fog. Rising off the river. The tree itself is the top bit with the face. So, but it just looked like it. So we call it the troll of Bates Mill Bridge.
Well, and it was good for social media for quite some time. That went on.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? We had all sorts of people discussing what they thought it was, and it was a ghost, and then it was a poltergeist, and all sorts.
William from across the pond has asked, do all of you offer narrowboat recipes? Well, I certainly don't. Kevin is
Gary
the man, I think, for doing it, and Gary more so. Gary,
I'm an expert cook. I am. Yeah, brilliant. I make soup and a curry. My kitchen. Yeah, no.
It's like Robert Carey. Open a tin in the pan. Oh, it's nothing like it. Yeah.
I can actually make it a pretty decent curry, but I cheat. I do use a powder for my curry sauce, but I am pretty good, and I've become, because with the lockdown, Kevin, you like my vlogs are a diary, as you know, and I thought, well, I do spend a lot of my time making soup. So I did make the mistake one day of vlogging me making my favorite soup. So I made it. Well, they were some of the most popular vlogs I think I've ever done. There's people all over the world having my soup.
Yeah, and the soup was absolutely superb because I got a sample.
It is good, isn't it? It is good, even
it
though
was really good. Yeah.
And I've had people say all over the place how much they love the soup. So,
yeah.
Kevin, you like cooking with traditional ingredients. Have you ever made a traditional lardy cake?
Lardy cake.
I wouldn't even know what a lardy cake was. It's sort of, what is it made of?
Lard.
It is lard, right? No, I've never made a lard. No, I made a Guinness cake and spotted Richard to use its new politically correct term.
Can I lay you down a challenge then to make a lardy cake in your next series, please?
Right. Well, I'm off now in a few days, and I need to cook something. So, all right then. Yeah, lardy cake.
Before you accept that challenge, I remember about 30 years ago when Sainsbury's were coming into the town where I lived, at a session with Sainsbury's, and the public were present. They were asked why they don't sell lardy cake. Right. And the answer was that you couldn't get it consistently the same, apparently.
Oh, that's right.
It's always different. And they wouldn't sell a product where you can't have the same consistency.
You can't.
Well, I don't know anything about lardy cake, other than it's quite delicious.
Kev, you're only going to make one. You're only going to make one, Kevin. So just make it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll love it. It's nice. It's full of honey and syrup, isn't it?
It's not just a case of buying a packet of lard, opening it up, and putting it on a plate, is it? You have to do something else to it. It's not just a lump of lard with a bit of sugar on the top or something. Oh, yeah, that sounds quite repulsive. Yeah.
It's actually very tasty.
Right, I'll have to research that. Right, lardy cake. Yeah. I'll call it lardy da. That's what I'll call it.
There you go.
Lardy da.
We'll all come up and sample a piece.
Right. I'll have to. If you don't mind it just being stuck in a plastic bag and chucked in a jiffy envelope, I can post it. Can't I?
Hi, Simon. Hi, Ben.
Kevin, don't ask Gary to name it, because he'll say, "Hello, lardy dardy."
Lardy daddy.
Do you know what? I'm getting some stick. Do you know what? I feel like going up there with a bucket and spade and fixing that breach myself.
Really?
Really? Oh,
calm down. Calm down, Gary. Hey, calm down.
You know what? A friend of mine, James. Thank you, James. Hello, James Williamson. I'll kill him. But we were playing. You know about the Shroppy shelf, Kev, the famous bit of concrete that sticks out all the way up the Shropshire Union.
Yeah.
Well, when you are more often than not on the Shropshire Union, you need wheelbarrow wheels or something to keep you away from the Shroppy shelf. So I got myself a couple of. Yeah, that's it. So I've got myself a couple of wheels, and Ian ordered me the rope for it. So we were moored up outside the Cat. Was it last week? I don't know. The holidays mingling. I think it was last weekend. And I was just dropping it in the water just to see how the wheel lay and what have you. So I'm doing this. And James has actually commented, because in the morning I go, I love my boys, my dogs. And in the morning on the vlogs, I always greet them. And I go, hello, Daily Whaley. Hello, Chipster Whipster. So loads of comments. Hello, Steely Wheelie. And I had all sorts. I was inundated with them. So every morning I'm going to go up to my wheels and go, hello, Steely Wheelie. Hello, Daily Whaley. But it's uncanny, because I had a subscriber moored. We were up the Shropshire Union somewhere. And the subscriber tapped on my boat about 8 o'clock one night. And he came to the side of the boat with his glass of wine, and we had a chat. Lovely chap. I think it was Eddie, his name wasn't it, Ian, I think? And he says... He said, I'm a subscriber, lovely chap, him and his wife. And he says, I've got a bone to pick with you. I went, oh, no, what now? He said, since we've been watching your vlogs, he said, I'm Daily Whaley and the wife's Chipster Whipster. So they call each other. And a couple of moorers here, they said, it's catching on now, because I'll say to the wife, do you want a Ginny Winnie? And I'll have a Beery Weary. So I don't know. Started a trend, I think.
Yeah, or you're just steadily losing it. I think possibly.
Yeah, that's more like.
It's hanging around with him. It's hanging around with him.
Can I just say thanks, Cliff, for your comment? Much appreciated. We're being asked again about how we got on at the when we all met up. We actually discussed that right at the very start. We had a great time when we all got together.
It was really special for us, because we'd never met Alan except on the live feeds before. So to actually see Alan in the flesh, as it were, was really good. It made the day for me, certainly, and I know it did for Ian and Gary. So it was actually super.
It just felt natural, Steve. It just felt we knew each other anyway.
Exactly, and I think that's what made the meeting even better, because we knew each other via the feed. It was a really good day, I have to say. One I remember for a long time.
It was really great. Yeah. We're being asked outside narrowboating what other interests we have.
Oh, narrowboats,
women,
boats,
women.
Ian, What? Women.
I'm sure it was a serious question.
Women. Is that sort of women?
Yeah, women's a good one.
Women in a women pool.
In a women pool.
What was that? Sorry.
Women in a women pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women.
Yeah, women. Oh,
Well, I like drawing, and hopefully these new glasses, the reading glasses are helping me. And by the way, thank you to all the supporters of my channel. Just want to get that in. Because of you, when we go into Chester, I'm restocking up all my art gear has had it. So I'm restocking up on my art gear. And with the help of these new glasses, I'm hoping to get back into drawing. So that's my hobby. I like drawing and I like photography. I like my artwork.
Yeah,
As in,
That's a vote. That's a vote from me. Yeah, I mean,
thank you, Kevin.
You're so talented. You did that.
Yeah, but
the
Kevin,
artwork just like that. And I'm just like, how do you do that? I mean, I can take photographs, but I can't draw for toffee. And I'm thinking, how do you start doing something like that?
What I had to do
was
a
blown
research.
away by some of the pictures that Gary showed me. Absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I just say this? So when he goes and buys his crayons in Chester,
Crayons.
They don't allow sharp objects in there. Yeah.
he's then looking for a live model to draw. I would like to state that I'm going off very quickly while he's in Chester shopping. I'm off.
I've just remembered I've got to go and do something.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you now, Hobbycraft haven't got enough ink to draw in below. There won't be enough paint in the shop.
Or a big enough piece of canvas. Yeah.
That's right. I need a bigger pad.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I did, Kevin, when I was drawing yours was I downloaded a lot of pictures, loads of pictures. And obviously we're all known for certain things. I always wear a hat and I like my waistcoats and things like that.
Yeah.
I like Merlot. We all have our own little ways. So you had several pictures on Facebook, or I'd look at a vlog, and what I did was freeze frame it and take a screenshot and look at that and play around with them and do different doodles to get it right.
Yeah.
And I think it captured you. I think it definitely captures you. So yeah,
because the likeness is especially when I got longer hair, but the likeness is
very good.
It's really good.
Very good.
Real likeness, yeah.
Even with the pork pie. And the Aslan, the picture of Aslan that I used off your T-shirt, if you know the header that you've got on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Of Aslan Maud, I used that. And if you look at that photograph of Aslan, that's the one that I used on the caricaturism. That's the one.
Yeah, you've got it down to a T. It's maybe if I start doing the motorbike stuff, I need a similar sort of thing, but me sat on a Harley shovel head.
No problem, mate. No
holding
problem.
pizza, holding a steak and kidney pie in my hand, or something like that.
Or pizza.
Pizza, yeah, and it's like, yeah.
We get a bit.
What would
you
be
get a
pretty
bit of
good, I
pizza
think,
flying off.
if you had a
There's
windlass.
the pose for you. That's the pose for you.
Okay. So the question was, what do we all like other than narrowboating? So Steve, what about you, mate?
Well, I used to do a lot of dinghy sailing, and I've got to admit, most of my hobbies are water-based. So dinghy sailing. I used to do a lot of swimming when I was younger. It's something I might take up again. But the sailing we've had to put to one side. Because when we bought Amy Jo, it was all too easy to get up on a Sunday morning and just make a cup of tea rather than go sailing. So that's my main one. I've always been interested in computers, hence the vlogging. What have you. So it's but other than that, it's the only other hobby I've got, of course, is Chris. Yeah. So
You have to say that. Well done. Well
I
done.
had to say that. Yeah, she's listening.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man, as they say. That's beautiful,
That's
man.
beautiful, man. Yeah, she's
What
watching
about
on
you,
the phone
Alan?
down there.
What about you, Alan?
Well, as I've said before, I have an involvement. I'm a trustee of a charity in Somerset that runs the Western Zoyland Pumping Station Museum. I've been involved with that for something like 14 years now. So that's my sort of hobby. I like photography. A lot of the promotional work we do for the museum features my photos our guidebooks and things of that nature. So photography, volunteering, helping people. As you know, I do some volunteering for the Canal and River Trust as well. Last weekend, I got a bit confused because I was down to do the Sunday of Ian's birthday, and I changed it. And I had it in mind that last weekend I was doing 2 consecutive days, and I had it firmly in my head it was Saturday and Sunday. It turned out to be Friday and Saturday. I got a call Friday afternoon asking where I was. And it was written down on my calendar, but it's so firmly in my head that I was doing Saturday and Sunday, I didn't even bother to look. So I do some of that. I'll be at the locks next Sunday, and then I've got a midweek day as well next week. So a lot of my time has been spent at the museum and helping that develop and grow. Yeah.
Excellent.
What about you, Ian?
About me? Well, basically, I'm going to say my hobby appears to be helping Gary at the moment. Basically, I love working with wood, but obviously I can't have my full range of tools on board. I did used to play the guitar, and I'm going to start doing that again. And technology. Gotta be technology. I'm loving working with Steve on the 24/7 live stream. Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing. That has been terrific to do. Absolutely terrific to do. Except when I blow up the electrics on the boat halfway through a cruise.
Yeah, we
had a bit of fun with that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had a bit of fun with that.
That'll teach me to get cocky.
There I was following you.
Eh?
When I was following you, I thought, here we go, cameras down. I didn't know you'd blown the electrics.
Yeah, there was a question, Alan, about that earlier on from somebody. It's way up through the comments. How did you get on with it? Did you get it resolved? Clearly you have, but they were wondering what it was.
Do I have to admit that?
So I've lost the plot here.
Well, I forgot to run the engine the day before, so my battery was getting a bit flat. And then I thought the best thing to do would be to do a washing on the cruise back, so the washing machine blew the electric.
You've got lovely clean drawers, haven't you, Ian?
I have now. I've got knives and forks in them.
Silly question time. Silly question, but how do you run a washing machine off your? I'm assuming like 12-volt washing machine, is it? Or how do you run a washing machine while you're cruising along on a boat?
Oh no, it's a 9 kilogram full family-sized one.
I've got one. Yeah.
Do you have a 240-volt alternator or something?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely confused how you'd run a washing machine.
Yeah, turn it on
while you're going on.
I've got a 3 kilowatt inverter, mate.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We ran out when we were going along.
Yeah, we ran out with the engine.
Right.
So did I. It blew the electrics.
It must be something to do with washing machines because my daughters have just
phoned up tonight. Yeah.
They've blown the electrics in the house with the washing machine.
The heating element alone must draw a hell of a current. Yeah.
It's funny. I got a message from Ian yesterday about he'd blown up his electrics or something, and straight away I looked when I was using my camera. Immediately afterwards, I had a problem with that. Strange, isn't it?
Well, you had your lighting issues, and I was going to do a little sort of appeal, like Children in Need appeal, but for your lighting. I said, if you've been affected by any of the issues surrounding Alan's lighting,
should we do it?
Yeah, please call this number. Please donate to Save Alan's lighting.
Yeah.
Somebody get Ian Alan a light.
We've actually been asked. It's been suggested we should have asked Kevin to play the guitar. But I'm looking at boats with 4 guitars on, at least 4 guitars.
I'll just curl up in the corner.
Yeah, but I've only got a 5-string guitar, Alan.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's that bass, isn't it?
We know the story behind that.
Shall I tell it?
It's good enough for Richard.
Alan, when he visited us, said that he used to play the guitar. Now, I've got an acoustic guitar, which I don't play very often because I'm actually a bass player. And I got the acoustic guitar out and gave it to Alan. And while he was tuning it, one of the strings went. So it's only a 5-string guitar at the moment.
But it matches your bass, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Exactly.
5-string bass is unusual to me, I have to say. But
yes.
You can get 7-string basses. I think I've seen a 9 guitarist, Steve Vai, his band. There's a guitarist there. Unfortunate name of Dave Weiner. But he has a 9-string guitar, and you get 7-string bass, and anything goes these days.
Some years ago, I think it was 2009, New Year's Eve, 2009. It sticks in my head, New Year's Eve 2009. But I seem to remember I was watching Jules Holland, and I think that was the one where Seasick Steve first performed.
His 1-string diddly
I tell you what, he is amazing.
Yeah,
his music is
stamps his foot. And...
That's it, with a box, and he's got like 2 strings on this guitar that he made out of a Morris Minor wheel hub, and the sound of it is fantastic.
Yeah,
and I love the song he's got. I started off with nothing, and I've got half of it left, and I thought that's quite apt.
That's about right. Started out with nothing and got half of it left. Yeah. He was a breath of fresh air because there was a lot of overproduced music, and then it came along. It was just him, his beatbox, and his stamp box, whatever he calls it, and his guitar. But I remember people in the audience like Phil Jupitus, and they all just stood there, and they sort of gathered around him because they thought, "What is this thing?" And it was so raw.
I sat there that night, and I was mesmerised with him. It was just fantastic. And I've loved him ever since. And he's still producing fantastic music now. I think he's got several albums out now.
He was genuinely
Steve, his name is, if anybody's.
C16. He was a genuine hobo. He used to hobo, on freight trains and all out of the textbook.
I don't think he's a hobo now, but I think he's doing very well now.
Very, very wealthy hobo.
Yes, very wealthy.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, what do you play? What do you play, Kevin? What's your favourite guitar?
Well, I've got a few. I mean, the thing is,
go and grab one. Go on, go. Go on,
Robin. It's so. What it is I don't think right. I'm going to learn to play. I don't know. Some tune. Famous tune. I just sit with the guitar. And normally I'll strum a note, or chord, and that will just set a tune off. And what I do on the guitar sort of dictates what appears up here, and what appears up here dictates what I do on the guitar. So I've no idea where I'm going. If I have to come up with a theme tune, like I did my country house gent blues, I'll actually learn to play a standard blues kind of thing. But normally I'll just sit there, and it's a meditation. You almost disappear into just you and your guitar. But it's a very private thing. Because I find it embarrassing. I think, to me it sounds great, and maybe it does. I don't know, but to do it, I would just feel that people are just looking and think, we made a mistake there, and and that doesn't sound very good, and it's a confidence thing. I
mean, I'm the same on the bass, Kevin. I love playing the bass here on the boat, and I've done 1 or 2 open mic nights, and you get into the rhythm of the music, and then you just go with it, and it's not something that you can explain to people. The music drives your playing, doesn't it, in your mind, or on whatever whoever you're playing with. And it's really difficult to get over that, especially on the bass.
And if you had to do it again, you'd have to learn it, because you wouldn't know how you did it.
That's right.
A lot of musicians get that. They record, they'll practice and record it and think, that sounds good, and then they've got to learn. Right, how did I do that? And they have to learn how to do it. Even successful musicians.
Yeah, Harry Overend, who's just commented, he said he's just become a professional ukulele player. People pay him to stop.
I'll have to see if there's a union I can join for that, because that sounds just like that sounds what I should be a member of.
That's it.
Yeah.
So let's just go around the table here for a minute. If you could change anything on your boat, Kevin, what would it be?
I would have another 10 feet.
Right. I've said that myself. Yeah.
I mean, people say to me, "Why don't you get a bread maker, or why don't you get a slow cooker, or a food processor?" And I literally would not have anywhere to put it. There is nowhere to put it. I can't put it in the cupboards. There's a cupboard one side with food in, then the other side's the fridge. I've got the cupboard under the sink. I mean, maybe it could go there, but there is literally, the engine room's the engine, the bathroom's full. I don't want to store it in a bedroom. There's no room in the saloon. I couldn't make a feature piece out of my slow cooker. There is, so another 10 feet would that would be if someone could send me another 10 feet. Thank you.
Yes, Deb, size does matter.
It does. You never have too much room on a canal boat.
That's right.
Stephen,
that's
Chris?
why on Amy Jo,
There's not really anything.
not really. Sometimes we might think about, instead of having a trad, had a semi-trad, but
that's
no,
only since getting smudged.
that's only since we've had the dog. Yeah, but other than that, no, we love the boat to bits, and no is the answer.
Yeah.
Somebody did say the wife, but I'm not.
You've got to put up with me full time from July when I retire.
Yes.
That's your
Get used
Sunday
to
dinner
it.
gone for a burden.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. How about you, Gary?
Not a thing. I wouldn't change Chugs. I wouldn't change a thing about Chugs. I love it to bits. Wouldn't change a thing.
Alan?
Well, I agree 100% with Kevin. An extra 10 feet would be wonderful. I have covered that in my vlogs about the length of the boat, and that, somewhere between 56 and 58 feet would be a good length to have. And I think I understand that when people do extend boats, it is always in 10-foot lengths, because I gather the steel comes in 10-foot lengths. I don't know if that's right or not, but and it is something that, it's not something I would think about doing, but it would really help. On my boat, each section of the boat needs to be a couple of feet longer.
Yeah.
The galley, the saloon, everything just needs that extra bit of length. And when you work it out, you add at least 10 to 12 feet.
You do.
But,
that's how Amy Jo came out at 67 feet, because when we looked at what we wanted in each of the rooms, it just came out at 65 feet originally, and then we realised that the saloon would be a bit tight, so we asked them to put another 2 feet on. But it was the design of the interior that dictated the length of the boat in the end. So, but we were lucky.
And the Joshua bow, wasn't it, Steve?
And the Joshua bow, yeah. I mean, we were very fortunate. We had a big inheritance, so we could have the boat built. And I know not everybody's fortunate on that. So Amy Jo was actually built to our specification. So we got what we wanted in the boat. So.
What about you then, Ian? What would anything you do with Morning Star?
Well, no,
more biscuits. I do with
more. With a what?
More biscuits.
More
biscuits for my boys.
I could do with a drawer to keep. I could do with a drawer to keep ginger soups in, but personally, no, I'm very happy with the boat. I guess if I wanted to do anything with a boat, it would be able to share it with someone. But unfortunately, that isn't the situation. So, but yeah, that's about it. But I'm very happy with the boat.
Yes, Ian, there's still plenty of time for that, my mate. You're a lovely fella. Any ladies watching that want to ride on Morning Star? Morning Star, he's free and he's single, and he's a lovely fella. Contrary to popular belief, he's loaded too.
Let me find the mute button.
Will you stop poking me in the ear, please?
It's all right. I've muted him. He can't speak now. There we go. Right, guys, we are coming very close to the end. So, is there any last-minute questions, Alan?
Well, Kevin has been asked, does he know how many miles he's travelled on the canals?
Good one.
I did this in a video, one of my walkabout videos because of the lockdown, walking around Garstang. I totted up, what it cost and stuff like that. I thought I'd done 1,500, 2,000 miles or something, but it was about 998 miles in total.
Wow.
That doesn't include going from Crick all the way back up, because I've been around the country and did the Llangollen in Wales. And then when I got back to Crick, where I started, I then went all the way back up to where I am in Lancaster now. So that doesn't include that. So it's over 1,000 miles. It's probably about 1,200 miles, something like that.
Wow.
Right. We've been asked about favourite types of biscuit. Robin's asked that. I like shortbread, I have to say.
Hobnobs.
Yeah.
Chocolate hobnobs.
Yeah.
Any
Plain chocolate hobnobs.
That's it.
Cinnamon hobnobs.
Shortbread.
Yeah. The thing with hobnobs, they're a proper biscuit. You can dunk them in your tea and they go on, do it again and again and again. All the others dunk it once, it falls.
You can do that with shortbread.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Right, okay. Well, Kevin, we're running up against our time, and I just got to thank you guys so very much for being our guest tonight and for making Go Narrowboating such a fantastic event again.
Yeah, it's been
so thank you very much for that. Would you like to say anything to your adoring fans?
Well, if they're still out there, if they haven't turned off in disgust, thank you for sticking with the series and the channel. It's never ever planned it. Never planned. It just happened. I started filming on the day I got the boat, and just a bit before, and I just thought, right, I'll film this mainly for my own my own records and stuff. But it just grew, and somehow I've these people from all over the place, and there's obviously something. So if I knew what it was, I'd probably bottle it and sell it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you've got it, Kev. You've got it. We're all fans here, so
yeah,
thank you.
Indeed.
And just thank you to everybody. Absolutely, it blows my mind. It does, yeah.
Well, thank you. Right, the rest of us, I can leave you there, Kevin. Normally I would take you out the studio, but mate, we don't get to see you enough. And just one quick question: have you enjoyed your first live experience?
Yes. Yeah, it was. I mean, the thing was the dry run. It was nerve wracking then, but once you get back into it, once you get going, the main thing is you worry you're going to make a bit of a pillock of yourself, but no, I've loved it. Yeah, I'll have to consider doing it on my channel. I think I have a few, because I was worried about the camera. The camera quality is not the best, but it's even the light's going and it still looks pretty good. So
it looks good. Yeah.
You've been smashing.
Mate.
Great, cheers.
Steve, do you want to say cheerio to your adoring fans, and Chris?
Yes, I would love to say cheerio, and a big thank you to them. Actually, as you know, what I've been through recently, and it just blows me away the response we've had from our subscribers and our new subscribers as well. So it's really appreciated. As you can tell, we're now back on Amy Joe because the last live feed, of course, I was in the house on oxygen. So thank you very much for all your messages, and I will respond to the comments one day, but the list is growing quicker than the list on this live chat at the moment. So I will get round to you, but thank you so much, guys. Do appreciate it.
Where's Smudge? I've worn him out, and he's sound asleep on the settee up the other end.
Yeah, he's sulking because he's just been groomed.
No, he's worn out. He's just been on a
very nice he looks too.
Yeah. So thanks again.
Gary. Okay, Gary, anything you want to say?
Well, all I can say is, sorry, yeah, all I want to say really is thanks very much for everybody's support. I think you know what I'm on about, but been, well, a little bit of a different time, let's just say, and I'm overwhelmed with the support. Also, it was lovely because for Ian and I, we were here and we saw what Steve and Chris were going through, but we also read all of your comments to Steve and Chris as well. So I'd like to, thank you for that, because I know it's helped him through it. So just thanks to everybody, and I just hope you get some comfort through watching our vlogs. And I know Ian and Steve with their 24/7 cameras, they've proved so popular. So check out the links below. Everybody loves them. Just watch them. And one comment from Lee, a subscriber and a follower, said it's like he's got a big 50-inch television or something, and he said it's like having an oil painting that keeps changing on his wall. And I thought that was a lovely description. So check them out.
Alan, would you like to say anything?
I'd just like to thank everyone for their support. I've got a good following of dedicated watchers, and I get some lovely comments. I'm absolutely blown away by some of the comments I get and the remarks. People do enjoy the channel, and I'm very grateful for that, because without that, I wouldn't be doing it. And so I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone. I did say earlier that on Sunday, I'll be publishing the meetup with the guys, so look out for that. And I'll be saying a little bit more about my merchandise. So if anyone does want a mug of me, because my mug is on the mug, you'll know where to go from Sunday.
A mug on a mug.
I gather Ian has put something in the link here, so some of you can hop in first and have a look.
That would be, put that as a logo on your mug. You have a picture yourself and then say a mug on a mug.
Mug on a mug.
Yeah, good one.
Mug on a mug.
I like that one.
It's mug on a mug.
There you go.
I'm going to have to steal that quick before you do. Right.
Yeah. I just have a final word, Ian?
Go on then.
There's one thing, there's a thank you I did forget. I've done it on the vlogs, but I want to do it on the live feed. I want to thank this guy over here and this one down there, Ian and Gary, because when I was in the hospital, these guys took care of everything for me. They took care of Chris.
Yeah,
they looked after Amy Jo, and I don't think we'd have got through it if it weren't for these two guys. So once again, guys, bless you.
Well done.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you again to everybody who subscribed to my channel. I did hit my £1,000.
You wish.
I did.
You never told me about that.
You're buying, Ian.
Start again. I just want to thank the 1,000 people who joined my Facebook family, because I did hit that goal, and I'm so pleased for that.
Well done, Ian. Well done.
Thank you, everyone, for everything, your comments, and for this motley crew who I share my life with. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers.
That's it, then. Here we go, then, guys.
All the best.
We're on.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye.